Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In order for me to tell you the full story of the buck that we call Bowinkle, I got to take you guys back to 2020. Whenever I first started filming my hunts, I had an old DSLR Canon camera. Really didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know how to edit. Didn't know anything about this filming stuff. But here lately, become pretty good at it. So I was sitting in a tree stand and doe come through, and here come this little buck, a little wide 4-point, hot on her trail, and later on down the road, we didn't know it, but this would be the buck that we would call Bowinkle. I have been covered up in bucks this morning. Just had another one come by. Couple come back through. I thought I was gonna get to see a fight, but the bigger one just chased the little one off. But definitely plenty of action this morning. Been a great morning. So now we're going to fast forward to 2021. I started getting pictures of this deer. He was just a real wide 6-point with no time length. Had that same curl on the right side that he's always had, even when he was a 4-point. I immediately recognized the buck. Really wasn't on the radar that year to really hunt. And then we're going to fast forward it to 2022. He was a real wide 8-point with really no time length. I got pictures of him early summertime hitting a mineral site, and then I never really had any encounters with that deer though at all in the daylight time. Johnny really didn't at that point either. He really wasn't a buck that we was after that year. We had other bucks that me and him both was chasing, so I probably wouldn't have passed him, but at the same time, really didn't see him. He is a buck that was just so unpredictable. So now we're going to fast forward it to 2023, which he'd be a 5.5-year-old buck, and now he's gained our interest. Or he's a 5.5-year-old deer. He's real heavy, real wide, and this is the first year that I actually have an encounter with him in the daylight. So we're going to fast forward to that and dive right into that hunt. So there's this buck that I've got a lot of history with. I've had him on camera for years. Me and Johnny both have, and he's a pretty unique buck. He's always been super wide, but not much time length. He's 5.5 years old this year, and he looks pretty good. Hopefully y'all can see this. I'll show it to you. So that's definitely a deer that will be on my list. He's not got much for time length, but he's super wide and a really mature deer and a very smart old deer. He's been on this property for several years between me and Johnny, and I get mostly nighttime pictures of him. Videos, Johnny gets mostly daytime. So, but pretty cool deer, man. It's good to see he's still alive, and I'm excited to maybe see him in daylight finally. Hopefully, we'll see. Good morning. It's November the 4th. It's finally starting to get daylight. We've been in there after a buck we caught Bowinkle. Well, my buddy sends me a picture of him almost 3/4 of a mile away at 3:30 this morning. So hopefully he had time to travel and make his way back over here on this farm. But it's that time of the year, you never know. You just never know what might show up. So it's almost, it's daylight enough now to shoot, so hopefully something comes cruising by this morning, and we'll be able to sling an arrow. Wish me luck. I definitely need it this year. That was Buck we was in here after. He spotted me. Well, as soon as I shut that camera off and done that interview, I grabbed the doe bleed out my pack. I hit it, and here he come. That was Bowinkle. That is the very first time that I've ever laid eyes on that deer in person. Besides, I think back in 2020. He come in here, he was standing there at 30 yards, and I stood up to turn. And I couldn't get turned all the way around on my tree stand because I couldn't flip my seat up because he spotted me. And we had to stare down. He turned, he didn't blow out of here, run out of here. He just worked his way off back around the hill, so he may come back, I doubt it. But he wasn't 100% sure what it was. He didn't blow, he didn't run, he just turned around and walked off. So maybe a hot doe might get his attention and bring him back. Man, that deer is super wide. I mean, I bet he's probably 21, 22 inches wide. Just a super cool old deer. Close encounter, first daylight, or first time even seeing him in person, really, since 2020. That's crazy. Let's see what the rest of the morning holds. Listen to that buck grunt. Alright, so this morning I had my number one target buck come in, and then a little bit ago I had two doe about 100 some yards out. They kind of worked up and went around through there, but as I was videoing them, I heard something come running behind me where the buck this morning went to, and I seen a doe, but I never did see him, and I heard some of the loudest grunting that I've ever heard, and I'm pretty sure, hopefully I've got it on audio. Hopefully my camera picked it up because it was loud, and that was cool. I haven't seen the deer yet. The last time I seen that doe, she was probably about 80 yards over here in this thick stuff, and they just kind of just disappeared on me. But I did hear the grunting still going on just about 5-10 minutes ago. So I'm hoping maybe that doe will work her way around here towards me and maybe bring a buck with her. But my cell camera's going off. I've got doe standing at my other camera about 200 yards away. So I don't know, it's been an exciting morning this morning. I may not have got a shot off, but at least I got a cool encounter with a buck that I've never seen or laid eyes on in person besides in 2020. I'm pretty sure it was the same deer. So cool encounter. Maybe this doe will work her way to me and bring the buck with her. That's exactly where he went to, so. And it sounded deep and loud. I almost think it was him. I really do. I almost think it was him, so. It's been a crazy morning. It's one of these tree stands. I actually said it yesterday evening. This is one of those tree stands where the deer rut at like crazy. So you just never know what's going to show up or happen here.
We're in here today trying to kill deer we call Bowinkle. He's been in here the last couple of days. He's pretty run down, chasing does. We're hoping he'll make an appearance in here today. We'll see.
So me and Johnny both hunted him in 2023. I had the one encounter with him. That was the only encounter that I had with that deer in the daylight. And Johnny seen him on trail camera, and he was getting a lot of daytime pictures of him. And I told Johnny, I said, well, you're in his core area. I think you got a better chance at killing this deer than I do. And we both hunting 2023. I ended up tagging out, and then 2024 rolls around. Uh, got pictures of him early in the summertime. I knew exactly what deer it was. He was just a big wide 8-point with no time length, and this would make him 6.5 years old. I ended up taking some other bucks, and Johnny was still after this deer, and he spent several hours in the tree stand chasing this deer, and it paid off for him.
Yeah, that's right. What'd you say, 30? 35. Tell me what's going on today, Johnny. Hold on, not yet. Gotta give me hands up. Turn it off for a second. He's camera shy. I've tried to break him, but it's hard to do unless he kills something. Then he don't care. That is true. I can't. You can't do it. I ain't talking. Well, we're in here set up this evening. We're after a buck we call Bowinkle. Me and him's had a history with this deer for several years now. He's just a wide, super wide, mature 8-point. He's just a super cool deer. Actually, I think he's got heavier bases this year than he has in the last years. He's never really got any time length, but I believe he's 6.5, no more, no less than 5.5 years old, based off trail cam history. But Johnny's behind the bow today. I'm behind the camera, and we're gonna see what happens this evening. He came in here Saturday, a little after 5 o'clock. He was in here early, so this guy is super unpredictable. There's no pattern to him. There's nothing that you don't never know where he's gonna be. You never know where he's gonna be at. So we'll see. But he did show up in daylight here, so maybe he'll do a repeat this evening. Alright guys, it's November the 2nd, about 4:30. I come in here, I'm looking for a buck we call Bowinkle, me and Stubby. This deer, you don't never know where he's going to show up. I got this little spot fixed up for me and my daughter. I thought she was going to come with me this evening, and she decided to stay home. I was going to go ahead and stay home. I seen a small buck bumping a doe in the backyard, so I decided to go ahead since I already had everything on and come up here and give it a set and see how it goes. So stick with us and hopefully Bowinkle shows up.
Over the next several sets, Johnny's has several encounters with some does and some nice young bucks. Just wasn't Bowinkle. I mean, he just wasn't showing up in the daylight as he always did. He was just a tough deer, so unpredictable. But Johnny continued to hunting and ended up getting a chance at another really nice buck. And well, we'll just see how it plays out.
that goes sometimes, unfortunately. We'll try again. Alright guys, today is November 29th, day after Thanksgiving. I'm back in here hunting a buck me and Stubby called Bowinkle. This deer, I had him on camera. He was active all day yesterday while we was at Thanksgiving dinner. So we slid back in here this morning and we changed it up to a different spot overlooking an old pasture. And I'm hoping that he comes through here this morning or sometime today. I'm going to try to make an all-day sit out of it if I can stand it. It's been pretty cold. I had a lot of wind, a little bit of snow blowing, and it is cold. So stick with us. See if we can make something happen. Hopefully he shows up. Alright guys, man, what a rush. He stepped out down here, got a shot at him. I believe I hit him pretty good. Wasn't able to get it on camera. I had another deer come in here behind me and got kind of close. So I couldn't move very much, but I was able to get a shot at him. I believe I hit him good. I seen him go outside over here. Whew, man, what a relief. Thank you, Lord. Man, it's been a journey with this deer this year. Tried to get after him a few times with the bow and couldn't make it happen. And coming here today to set all day, I was hoping he would show up with it being cold, and he did. And hopefully the rest is history. Let's go down here and see if we can find him. Well, yesterday I got up, went out, was planning an all-day set. Had a lot of wind, blowing snow, it was cold. I set till about noon, got tired, got cold, debated on packing it up and coming to the house. And I decided I was already there, so might as well just tough it out, and was hoping he would come through yesterday evening with the cold front, come in looking for some food. Was covered up with deer at the time. I had a buck actually come in behind me about 35 yards. He started looking up the hill after he come out. I needed him to take about 2 more steps. When he did, I kind of figured it was either take a chance or the deer behind me gonna blow out and blow him out with him. So I took a shot at him about 100 yards. He went about 40, 50 yards and piled up, and the rest is history.
Last year, I actually had an encounter with this buck. He come in to about 35 yards, and I couldn't get a shot at him. He ended up turning and coming straight towards me when I stood up in my tree stand to turn around towards him because he come in my right side, so I had to stand up, turn to my right side. My wallet got caught on my seat, and it made a noise. He looked right up at me and spotted me. He took off, and that was the only encounter that I ever had with him in the daylight. I think this is the only encounter you had with him in the daylight, isn't it? Or a second encounter?
This is the second encounter I had with him in daylight. I seen him one night coon hunting. He was in and around and paid no attention to us whatsoever.
We've had, since then, we've had trail cam history all the way up until this year, and he has been probably one of the hardest deers that me and Johnny probably have ever tried to hunt, because there was no pattern in this deer. There was absolutely no pattern to this deer. He done whatever he wanted to do when he wanted to do it, and you never knew when he was going to show up at any given time. He was crazy.
Yeah, very unpredictable. Days that I wouldn't be there, he would show up, and days I'd go in and sit all day, he'd never make an appearance. And I just figured yesterday with that cold front and the temperature dropping the way it was going to, that he might show up, and lucky enough, he did.
Well, congratulations, brother.
Thank you, buddy.
Proud of you. That's one heck of a deer. We got him aged at 6.5 years old, and that's definitely a mature deer here for West Virginia. They don't get to be that old too often.
No, sure don't.
Just an awesome buck, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I just couldn't go without telling the full story of this deer and all the history that we had with him, and not just be able to share any of it. But Johnny unfortunately didn't get any shot on the camera, but hey, it is what it is. Well, I did be able to go and video him, take pictures of him, and it's just a bittersweet moment for the both of us. I can't congratulate my buddy Johnny anymore, man. He put the time and the effort in and got a big, mature 6.5-year-old buck on the ground. And congratulations, brother. That's just an awesome buck, and I can't be happier for him. I mean, it's just that it's an incredible buck, and at least me or him that we had all the history with it. One of us got the deer, and I'm glad he did. I really truly am. So thank you guys for watching the video. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about the hunt. These bucks don't really get to meet this age too often here in West Virginia, so that's pretty impressive. So hey, give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.